Welcome to my Flower Study Series Episode 3, and today we'll be studying one of the world's iconic flower, the rose. Which also happens to be the national flower of the United States. And after so many requests, I think it's finally time we make a beaded rose. Without further ado, let's go unwrap this bouquet. Just so pretty. I don't think I've ever gotten a dozen of roses before, so this is really exciting. And it also comes with baby's breath. So welcome to my Flower Study Series Episode 3. And today we are going to bead some roses. And if you guys still don't know already, I'm currently in America. And because I'm traveling, these are all the beads that I brought with me, and I'm going to show you all the colors that I have over here. I don't know if you remember, but I can't bring a lot with me when I'm traveling, so I had to pick and choose all the colors that I have. And I think all of this weighs about 3 kilograms. I really did the best that I could. It's really heavy. And that's all I have. Honestly, it's nothing. It took me so long to narrow down all the colors that I have with me and to pack everything up in Ziploc bags. And all of the bags over here, they weigh about 250 grams. But the green ones over here, I think they weigh about 300 grams because I know I'll be needing the greens a lot more for the leaves. And colors like white, I try to keep it around 400 or 300 grams. But not to worry, I am planning to go to the bead store someday. I think one of you asked me to show you guys my beading setup, but I can't do that right now because I'm traveling, so I don't really have a setup. I usually just have a beading bag with me and that's all I have. I wish to have a setup someday soon, so by then I'll show you my entire collection. But having a limited color palette with me does force me to think creatively and see what I can play around with. I think I only have 2 to 3 shades of red. This is definitely not enough, so I'm going to use this red bag over here. And I bought this right before I left, so I'm pretty excited to use this. And I think it matches the shade really well. Maybe a little bit too dark, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to narrow down about 2 to 3 colors to make this beaded rose. I'm definitely going to pick red, maybe dark green. This is my favorite green shade, and I don't know if I should use it again or try dark green. I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to pack everything else up. This is my new beading station for now. I like working in a dining table a lot because of how big the table space is. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I trimmed off the stems a little bit because I just want it to fit in the rocks like this. The rocks. I just want them to sit on the vase like comfortably, and they smell really good. So while they're fresh, let's just go ahead and do the study. This kind of reminds me of a ranunculus because the number of layers they have, but they are quite different because the outer layers over here are flipped out. This should be beginner friendly as well. So step 1, we gotta decide how many petals we'll be beading and the type of shape we'll be making for our petals. I think we can gradually increase its size as we go to the outer petals over here. I like keeping my center beads around 1.5 to 2 centimeters, so I think that should be our starting point over here. I don't know why, but these two color palettes just reminds me of Christmas. I think I'll be choosing this lighter green shade for the leaves instead. They're both really cute colors, but I'm just feeling this today more. Before we start, here are all the materials that I'll be using, and I will be linking them in the description box below. Prepare your basic frame. We'll be wrapping over 90 degrees at the top and 90 degrees at the bottom. Straighten your wire, and then we wrap 90 degrees at the bottom. Just continue wrapping until we have completed all 7 rows. One last row, and then wrap multiple times at the bottom. Cut the excess wire. Trim the top while allowing a tiny gap to tuck in. I have divided them into 3 different categories: inner petals, middle, and outer petals. You can see the sizes over here. It's gradually increasing by one circular movement, which is 2 rows. And as for the middle petals, I have 4 over here. For outer petals, we'll need 4 of these. With the same technique, you will be wrapping up until 19 rows. All of the petals over here, the center beads are all 1.5 centimeters. So only the biggest petal here, the center bead for this biggest petal would be 2 centimeters. So now we'll be making the outer petal, which is 19 rows and measuring 2 centimeters of center beads each. This is 2 centimeters of center beads. The outer petal will need lots of space for the top and the bottom. I'll be adjusting my basic frame and give it like lots of space up here and here. I think this should be enough. So same thing, we'll be wrapping over at the top and the bottom at 90 degrees angle. I'm going to speed up this process and I'll show you how I make this petal all line up neatly together like this. Each time you make a row, just make sure that you are pinching them together so you can minimize any gaps in between these rows. And always straighten your wire and then push your beads up like this, 90 degrees. Straighten your wires again. So I have 11 rows over here. We need to wrap up until 19 rows. Cassandra left a message for me. She mentioned that she noticed that I don't usually lace my petals, and even the huge ones. This is what she might be referring to because this is pretty huge. It's 19 rows. I can't seem to make more than 11 rows without needing it to be laced for structure. This is the 11th row. At this point, you really need to be mindful when you're wrapping your wires at the top and the bottom. You have to pinch all the rows together. There won't be any gaps in between. And then when you try to wrap it, try to hold your fingers like this and pinch the side that you're wrapping your rows. We are currently on the 11th row and going on the 12th row. You need to really close any possible gaps in between, and to do that you might need to reduce one bead and close it up like this, and then you wrap a row. I'm going to demonstrate one more time again. Push your beads down and then with your fingers hold this part over here and then try to wrap it. So this is where the beads usually stop, but I'm going to reduce one extra bead and wrap it so I can minimize the gaps in between the rows over here. However, this method, I do notice that my petals will curve a lot more. So this is like slightly curved inwards. So if you try to make it flat, you can see that my beaded rows are not as neat, but it is only neat when I try to fold it inwards like this. Which most of my flowers, I prefer folding it slightly like this than to have the petals flat like this. But if you're someone who doesn't enjoy lacing like me, I prefer this method a lot more, even though my petals tend to curve a little bit inwards like this. But I don't really mind because most of the flowers that I make tend to curve anyways after reshaping. However, if you still want your petals looking flat like this, I still recommend proceeding with the lacing technique because that is the most proper and neatest way that you can do. So yeah, just reduce one extra bead when you're trying to wrap a row. It will help, but your petals will be slightly curved. Anyways, you are so awesome for making your own wedding bouquet. If you completed your wedding bouquet, please send me a photo because I really want to see it. So currently we are on our 13th row and wrapping on the 14th row. So hold your petals on the side we are wrapping at, and then reduce one bead and wrap. Straighten your wire, hold, reduce one more bead here, wrap, straighten your wire, reducing one bead again, another tip, if you want an absolutely flat petal, you can just lay it on the mat and then try to use your fingers to press them and make sure they stay in place. And I'll lift it up again and wrap a row. And when you're ready, just wrap multiple times at the bottom to secure your wire. And there we go. If you look at them sideways, it's not entirely flat. So usually I just curve them inwards like this. And it's all lined up perfectly.
Wow. That's a great story. Who knows? I might, if I see something, but I don't know what I need. That's why we're here. Otherwise, it'd have taken me back. Michael's is right by with my dog food place, which I do need some more. Beautiful little. Oh, I love that inspiring stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Snoopy. Look at it. Let's have an envelope though. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's cute. And then this, I like that one too. This is a Bible verse. This doesn't have a Bible. It's just what it does.
I think they do. We have to.
Yeah, I guess we have to go down all. Little ones, it's just different sizes. And then, or that. Or these. Oh, I like the golds. Yeah, because these are too big. These ones. What are they? 660. Okay, got it.
This is so pretty.
I'm glad you found what you wanted. And we got some. Look at the sun, makes you feel good.
I like to just eyeball it, so I'll just fold it half like this. Slightly lower than this part over here. Wrap it around. And then on the left side, you can either do it longer or a little shorter. I'll go one a little shorter like this. Pinch it a bit. Hold your wires firmly and then wrap it multiple times at the bottom. And when you're ready, just cut your wire and then trim the top while allowing a small gap to tuck in. And just like that, these will go underneath the rose. I don't know if you can visualize this, but it can go underneath over here. To be honest, you can actually make any kinds of leaves, but I think this one is easier than to make all 6 of them, so I'm just going to bead one more. Let's make the main leaves over here. This is the main leaf that we'll be beading. Start off with 1.5 centimeters of center beads, and then just prepare your basic frame. We'll be wrapping 45 degrees at the top. And 45 degrees at the bottom. Press them together so they are all aligned. Remember to straighten up your wires and then wrap 45 degrees at the top. And then 45 degrees at the bottom. Continue wrapping until you have all 17 rows. cut your excess wire. And there we go, we have our leaves over here. They do look kind of similar, just a little smaller, and you may bead them in different sizes like these. We are going to attach them like that. So this is the exact same method, but this one is wrapped for 11 rows, and both of these are 7 rows. So I have all of my materials laid out over here. Let's not forget our floral stick. I'll just need one for now. I also have my floral tape over here and my embroidery floss. I think this really matches up with the petals really nicely. So if you've seen my previous video on making the Gerbera daisy, I found a better method to avoid getting my fingers cut, which is not to cut the loop ends over here. Usually I would cut all of them, but I noticed that if you just press it down like this, you can just attach them onto the stems very easily. It saves so much more time and definitely save you from all the injuries that might happen when you're attaching all the petals. So just go ahead and just pinch it up like this. The very first petal that we'll be attaching would be the inner petals. Grab the smallest petal over here. I'm going to use my floral stick and fold it half like this. It should look something like this. It doesn't need to be too curled up as long as it looks like this. So once all 4 inner petals are curled up, just take the smallest one and attach it onto the floral stick. As usual, I'll be using a separate wire for this. Third petal. And then the last piece for the inner petals. Let's move on to the middle petals. I'm not going to curve these too much. I'm just going to attach them and then we'll be rearranging the petals later on. This time when you're attaching the petals, just make sure the backbone of the petal will be facing outwards. So you can see this is the outward side. So we'll be putting up like this. So it should look something like this. Just fold it slightly at the end like that. Now let's move on with the outer petals. The backbone of the petals will be facing outwards, which is visible to the eye. So when you're attaching the outer petals, make sure that it is slightly lower over here, like that. See? And then for the outer petals, just fold them in half, but you can curve them sideways, like that. I'm going to wrap it with floral tape before I start assembling the leaves. So if you can tell, you can see that the backbones of the petals are showing. We'll be using these leaf brackets to cover them up, like this. As for the leaves, just wrap them up individually with floral tape, like this. So once you have all 3, you can just combine them like this. Biggest one in the middle. I'll take them with floral tape. So once you have something like this, just attach them onto the stems. Put it somewhere over here. There we go. Just wrap everything up with floral tape. we have everything wrapped up, let's just finish it off with embroidery floss. I'm tying a knot over here. Also, I'll be releasing this beaded rose PDF pattern on my Patreon, so stay tuned to that. I try to release my PDF beaded flower patterns every 2 to 3 weeks. I'm trying to make it consistently to 2 weeks, but because of my recent travel schedules, there's a slight delay to it. I see every one of you who signed up for my Patreon and who followed me, so thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me as an aspiring artist. I might also make a poll on the next flower to bead. I also post lots of tips and tricks over there. So if you'd like to learn more about beading or some really cool stuff you can do with it, just go check it out. This French beaded rose is definitely beginner friendly, and I'm almost done with this, and I can't believe it just took me less than an hour if I were to not film, but because I'm filming, so it takes a little bit longer than usual. So once it's done, just tie a knot at the bottom and just top it off with nail polish coat. Yeah, and there we go. That's our beaded rose. So this is the comparison. This is my interpretation of a real rose. What do you guys think? Roses aren't my favorite, but surprisingly I had so much fun making this, and I love the shape of it. And guys, some of you messaged me and showed me the works that you did and all the beaded flowers that you followed from my tutorials. I am so happy each time I receive messages like that because it's just so fun looking at your creations, and it makes me so grateful that I could share French beading with you guys. So please share more. I really love seeing all of your creations. And if you manage to make this beaded rose, tag me up on my Instagram or TikTok perhaps. I think on the next video, I might try to find interesting flowers in Florida. I'm thinking of... They're just so pretty and I really want to make them. Thank you so much for watching my flower studies series. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed making this beaded rose. Please take care wherever you might be, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.